Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Hello. Guess who made it? Guess who made us late? It's me. It's me. It's PK with the BLVD. And welcome to Here Comes the Lame, featuring newly galvanized Philly sports fan wearing his Eagles hat. He's off the Phillies. He's an Eagles season now. Bang! It's Jedi Joe, everybody.
What's up? How was your week?
Oh, I had a roller coaster of a week.
Oh, let me shut off my Skyrim ambient music in the back.
Have you seen the video, the TikTok video? And it's all one guy, but he's playing 3 roles. And an acoustic guitar player walks in for open mic night. And the 2 guys are like talking shit. They're like, oh God, oh geez, here comes this guy. And then the first song he plays is like the Skyrim main theme. And the other 2 guys go nuts. And they're like, oh no! Ah! They're like, do you know the Whiterun theme? And he's like, yes, I do. And he just plays
Playing like the bar theme. The ding, 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 ding.
So he plays he wins over the bar critics, the critics at the open mic by playing Skyrim music. It's very, very funny. But you know, if you know, you know. You know, it's not something you share with many people.
Yeah. Skyrim, a game that I think I owned on 3 different. I had like 3 or 4 different copies of it. Like I had it on PlayStation, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. It's one of those games, you know. You got to buy numerous.
And soon you will own Starfield on all those platforms as well.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Maybe. Never say never.
Well, Super Mario RPG comes out next week, so I'll have it on the Switch. I've had that on Super Nintendo, emulator, SNES Mini, and I will have it on Nintendo Switch.
I got to talk a little bit about gambling.
Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling much better.
Okay.
Physically, much
you seem
better.
Fine on Tuesday, so.
Existentially, huge downfall because, you know, I'm a gambler, Joe. What are you drinking? Some tea?
It's iced tea.
Oh, iced tea. So I'm a gambler, you know, but like I don't know how to describe it economically, but for somebody who loves to live on the edge, such as myself, I feel like there's a law of diminishing returns, you know. Because what happens is you discover a star player, a breakout player in the NFL, Puka Nacua. You know, this time last month, I was like, yo, Puka Nacua, anytime touchdown, plus 1,800. You know what? Let's go.
But wait, to do what?
Anytime touchdown, whatever.
Really?
I don't know.
There's no way that it was probably first touchdown of the game.
I'm speaking in generalities here, Joe.
Yeah.
So I see a plus 1,800. You know, I like to burn the candle at both ends with a flamethrower. I'm all in on Puka Nacua. It means no worries for the rest of your days, you know? First touchdown anytime, whatever. Two touchdowns even. Yo, let's go 2. Plus 1,800. Bang! Hit it. Boom. Let's go. Same amount of money. Next week, Puka Nacua. A little bit more popular.
Yeah.
Maybe plus 800 next week.
Yeah.
Same amount of money, lesser winnings.
Yeah, because once they start doing the thing and everyone starts betting on it, the odds
becomes the thing. You know, and the thing is, sometimes you don't even realize that it's a thing until it's a thing, you know? And so I'm riding the wave, but everybody else is too. And then, you know what's crazy? I'm hitting every weekend for the last month, I'd say. I've been hitting parlays. I've been hitting fucking long shots. I have been crushing it so much to the point where I even said, you know what? Let me dabble on a Wednesday. Let me fucking throw some NBA bets out there. Boom, we're hitting those NBAs. We're hitting those NBA bets. And I mean, suffice to say, Joe, the well has run dry for your boy.
Yeah, usually you get hot and then it doesn't last that long. You can get hot for like a week or 5 days or so, and then eventually they're gonna get their bread back. Like right now, I'm down.
Let me ask you, how do they know? How do they know to help you win your first bet? How do they know that your first bet is gonna win to get you on it? Like, and everybody has a different first bet.
Yeah.
How is it that your first bet 500 to win 200, you win that one, and they get you hooked? How do they know to get you to win the first bet every time?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I mean, all sports are fixed, and it sucks.
Oh, let me tell you, it's fixed. It sucks, and the most important thing is not to chase it. You can't. Soprano says
That's what they say. Don't chase your winnings.
Can't be
Only
chasing.
bet what you can afford.
only bet what you can afford. And as you know,
1-800-GAMBLER.
is that where I'm at? Is that where I'm at right now? Because I've been going in over my head from the jump, Joe.
I mean, are your wagers higher than they used to be?
My wagers are higher than I can personally afford to mentally lose.
So like $1.
Yeah, like I've gone all the way up to $1. I was
Dude, I
sending
bet
you
$100 last week. On a bet.
No.
Yeah.
Joe,
I was
that's
doing
what I do.
the 10,000 challenge, remember?
They
And
suck
I got
you
up to
in.
the $100 level, and then I lost. And I was more angry the fact that it lost, not that I lost that money, because I made that $100 out of $10.
I suck you in, always in, keep you free from sin. Hit the parlay.
To the gambling man comes. Yeah.
It's so
Gambler. I call
Gambler.
him Gambler. Oh, man.
From The Simpsons, classic.
Yep.
Gambler. So, and Joe, you might see a little bit of red under my eyes because right before we got on the air, Gambler got me. He munched me up.
Oh, Thursday night?
Well, I just decided I put a lot of parlays in. I really spent a long time cultivating some deep parlays for myself. And I said, don't look, not yet. Treat yourself. Well, that was a mistake because all I treated myself to was loss and heartbreak.
I'm kind of down about it right now. So, but it's all right. Christian McCaffrey plays this weekend. He's back.
By the way, speaking of Christian
Niners are
McCaffrey,
back, brother.
So last year in fantasy football, I lost the Super Bowl to Bald Steve, who knows nothing. He knows nothing of fantasy football. Okay? But I lost to him. This year, as the defending Super Bowl champion going into this week, Steve is 2-6. He's so bad that I'm sending him texts to try to help him. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, he's gonna come back and then beat you.
And then so I'm 6-2. I'm
No.
sitting atop Mount Everest.
What's the name of your team? Like Jalen Hurts Simp or something?
Love Hurts. But then I dropped Jordan Love long ago. So now it's just Love Hurts and it's all about Hurts.
Yeah, mine would be like Jalen Simp.
Jalen Simp. Simping ain't easy. So the brotherly shove. So
are they gonna ban the brotherly shove by next season?
Yo, they shouldn't because every team tries it. Philly's the only one who does it well. So it's not like it's a cheat code.
That's why, because they don't want the Eagles. See, you understand? That's why the Eagles won't win the Super Bowl, because the league doesn't want them Eagles to win the Super Bowl. That's why.
Well, anyway, so this week I'm 6-2. Steve is 2-6, and I was playing him this week. And as I said, Joe, I was gambling. I'm a heavy gambling. Like Sunday night, I went to the porn convention. So I wasn't even looking at fantasy football.
I can't wait to hear. Are we going to talk about that today?
Oh, we have to. Okay. Yeah. So Sunday I went to the porn convention. So I was like, I'm playing Steve. Steve's 2-6. He doesn't stand a chance. I'm not even going to look at this shit. So Sunday night I come home. All the games have finished. Sunday night football is over. Another bet I put down and lost. And I look and I am trailing Steve by like 12 points, 2 points. And the only one left to play is my guy Garrett Wilson for Monday night. And and the Chargers beat the shit out of the Jets. It was like 30-6, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Jets
the
are awful.
fourth quarter, and it's 30-6, and the Jets have the ball, and I'm standing on my sofa screaming at the television because all I need is for Zach Wilson to throw the ball like 1 or 2 more times to Garrett Wilson, and I can beat Steve. I'm down by like a point. Anyway, it's like 2 minutes left. Jets aren't even going to do anything. I don't even know why they're throwing it. They should have just taken a knee. Boom. Garrett Wilson, 1 catch, 9 yards, 1.9 points. Joe, I beat Steve by 0.08 fantasy points.
I saw the screenshot. Yeah. Off your personal Instagram, right?
That's
or
the
whatever.
type of stuff I post on my personal, Joe.
Yeah.
It's a victory of that fucking nature.
Nice. That's a good one. Yeah.
Oof, wow.
That's a great one.
Like, I wish I was at a bar in New York where all the Jets fans are like miserable and I'm still rooting for the Jets.
You see the meme where like it's like betting on the Jets right now, and it's just like a guy like in the front row in the end zone, just like Jets is pain.
Jets is pain.
Rodgers is throwing though without the brace.
He's a miracle of science.
The script might still say that the Jets win, get into the playoffs, and then like Rodgers comes back just for the playoffs, and then it'll be Jets and Eagles in the NFC.
The screenwriters of the NFL don't like Aaron, so I think if they do bring him back, it will only be for heartbreak because they have to prove that Fauci was right and Aaron Rodgers is a Joe Rogan nutbag. You know, that's what the NFL is trying to do. I like Aaron Rodgers, though. Okay, so let me tell you about PornCon. You ready for this?
Oh, but did you also see the Eagles Cowboys was the most watched game this season?
Well, it's the most watched game because it's the most in market game, though. You know what I'm saying? Because when everybody gets like I guess 2 games or 3 games, like Channel 2 and Channel 5.
Yeah.
And it all goes regional, but like that 4:00 game was the most carried game, the Eagles Cowboys. And the Eagles beat the shit out of them, right?
No, it went down to the last play. They beat them by only 3.
Oh, wow. See, I wasn't even paying attention to the NFL this week.
That game had me triggered. So that's why I didn't even watch Sunday night. I didn't even watch Bank. I was like, yeah, we're going to watch Dolphins and Chiefs. And then we're going to watch Ravens and whoever the hell they destroyed. Seahawks.
Right.
Because my girl's Ravens fan. And then we're going to watch Eagles and Cowboys. They're going Bengals and Bills. And then, like, by time Eagles Cowboys was done, I just went downstairs in silence, like I really do.
But Joe, that makes no sense. The Eagles won.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been like that.
So wow, you were upset even though they won by a small.
I get
margin.
upset because they're not playing well, and my bet lost. That's why.
your bet lost. Okay.
So it's like all this,
Yo,
that was my weekend.
I don't know. Look into my eyes right now. There's no greater pain than a bet that you are feeling pretty good about absolutely fucking falling a few yards short. And that's what they do. They are constantly, the Las Vegas gods, gamblers of the world are constantly calling down to those NFL officials and telling them, hey, screw Pat and Joe. Fuck those 2 guys.
Yep.
Those guys are idiots.
Brother.
Those guys are
fix
assholes.
is in.
The fix is in.
So what'd you do this weekend?
Joe and Pat screwed Pat and Joe, not Pat and Joe. The NFL didn't screw Pat and Joe. Pat and Joe screwed Pat and Joe, Okay, so I went to Exotica, which is the porn convention, and this is like the off brand, because they go to Miami, they go to Chicago, they go to Las Vegas, and they go to sunny Edison, New Jersey. So of course,
I thought it was so weird that it was in Edison.
Well, it was a very small expo center. It wasn't at like a night. It was like at the New Jersey Expo Center. Which is a big.
I thought it was going to be at the Sports Plus or whatever that was, where they used to run the old ROH shows.
Yeah.
In Edison, the hockey rink.
So, my man Andrew from Matt Men Podcast, shout out. He hooked me up with 4 press passes. And he sent me a photo that's like, hey, just go into the staff entrance and get your press. And that's the kind of treatment I like, Joe. That's the kind of experience that I will leave the house for, you know. But let me tell you, dude, that was not a quick trip either. It was not a quick trip because it was like, oh, okay, just got to get to Penn Station, like 45 minutes to Penn Station.
Yeah.
And then I'm like Googling it. I was so stupid because I like fucking Googled it instead of like looking up the NJ Transit times. So I'm like trying to like look at it through Google. And I wound up walking across the street to like the Amtrak Northeast Regional. It's like, oh, this makes a stop at Edison, New Jersey. Yeah, on its way to fucking Washington, D.C. And so, like, I'm standing there with, like, my Twisted Tea road beer. And these other people, they have luggage. They have, like, fucking wheel-on luggage. And I'm like, wait a second. I don't think I'm in the right place right here, you know? So, long story short, that was not the right train. So, like, it's the same track for the Amtrak and NJ Transit. So, I had to walk back across the street. Blah, blah, blah. And you know what happens to me, Joe? When I'm, like, running late to a thing, even though I'm sure whenever I get there, it'll be fine, I still, like, freak out. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm running late. It's not even worth it.
What's up, Larry? Larry said the Rexplex.
Yo, Rexplex.
They ran at the Rexplex thanks to the IKEA.
So, yeah, you know, it was interesting. There were definitely some mouth breathers there. There was definitely a guy in like a fucking AEW shirt on all fours getting whipped with leather, you know. But it was interesting.
No way.
No, I think he.
I looked at the rules. It was like no nudity, no sexual act, code of conduct. Like you can't grab or do anything. Like,
well, here's the thing. Okay, so let me try to break
even
this
an
down.
adult film con.
Well, there were a lot of. It was very, very wrestling adjacent because you know it's like, hey, I grew up watching Lex Luger. Lex Luger's sitting right over there. Nobody wants to talk to him. I might as well go over and say, hey, I'm a big fan. You know, so
Yeah.
that's kind of. So it was weird because. You know, if you're at a strip club, right, the strip club is very, very strict. You know, there's no touching. There's no glaring. And, you know, if you don't got bread, you go stand in the back. You know what I mean? But so, like, that's kind of the way that I approach this event.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, wow, okay, there's that person. There's that person. Wow, it's all these, you know, actresses that I admire all around the room. But you know, I'm not gonna bother them. I'm not gonna bother them because if I can't touch the stripper at Pumps on Myrtle Avenue in Brooklyn, how am I gonna go get a photo with so and so?
Yeah,
that's kind of what my mindset was. So I finally I did it, and you know, it's much like Comic-Con. You basically buy a ticket to go shop. You know, I thought it was very funny. The cops who were stationed at the event were. Like, you know, shopping for sex toys and stuff. The cops were searching.
The cops were also like
they were browsing.
Fun.
They were browsing around, yeah. And you know, there was a very funny
brother.
thing. It was like
I got this fleshlight, brother.
Yeah, hey brother. Oh, it's a nightstick. So so there was one very, very funny thing that was like there was like a live you know, poll contest. But in between, they were like, okay, we need 8 couples. 8 couples come up on the stage. 8 couples. So it was couples from all walks of life. Some young and cute college kids. Some older, wacky swingers. The couple across the bar gives you
the Irish electrician, and his
there was one guy who was like a very elderly, like Indian man with like a very shiny Ric Flair suit on, and his like. You know, partner as well. So they were all different parts of life, and the gimmick was that
like Mos Eisley, all scum and villainy.
And well, nobody was more scummy than the MC of this event either.
Oh,
he was like so creepy. But the gimmick was that like within 30 seconds, you with your clothes on had to do as many sex positions, like you know, like simulate as many. It was very, very funny because the old man was like thrusting. You know, it was very, very awkward for people. So that was very fun, you know. So anyway, I go to get a photo with, you know, one of the very accomplished actresses that I'm a fan of for like many, many years, you know. And, you know, what I did is I went to give her the Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah. You're like.
Yeah, I was like, oh. And she looked at me and she was like, are you giving me the Keanu? I was like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I am.
Who was it? Can I ask who it was?
Yeah, it was Lexi Luna was the woman.
I think I've heard of her.
You gonna look it up right now?
Yes.
There were a lot of others there, but she said, "Hey, I like your shirt." So I went over and I was like, "Hey, I love you. I'm in love with you. How you
boy.
doing?"
Oh boy.
Yeah, she's.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Oh, geez, Joe, don't make it gross. Don't make it weird. So, so she was very, very nice, right? Then took a bunch of photos, and I'm looking at the photos. I'm like, wow, you know, I think this woman might be in love with me. Actually, look at these photos. Didn't even get a retweet. Didn't even get a retweet, Joe. So I'm a mark. So I'm a mark.
You went full mark, full simp.
Yeah, no, I didn't simp. I didn't simp because I Keanu'd it, and then when I was leaving. Then when I was leaving, I just gave her a dap. I was like, all right, thanks. Later. So I think I handled myself well. Just like I could convince Billy Gunn to be friends with me by not marking out for him. I feel like I handled myself well in the porn.
What happened with so did you film any content? Did you talk to RVD?
RVD and Katie Forbes were not there. That's a huge negative. The guy who because you know, Sunday's the go home day, Joe.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's the pack up day. But I'm really happy because it wasn't that crowded and we still got to see like whatever we wanted to see. You know, we still got the experience, but not with like the Fifth Avenue on Christmas Eve type of vibe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of wondering if it was going to be like New York Comic Con or something where it was just a mess.
Well,
but yeah, if it's a Sunday, there's like no one there.
Right. So you know, so I got the experience much like Wrestling Con where you like walk up and you're like, oh my God, there's Coco Beware just sitting on that bench right there, smoking a cig. You know, it was very, very similar. Very similar.
All right.
And then there was a guy like in the corner just selling pickles. You know, if you're just a vendor, you could just like you could just pay to be.
I could have showed up and sold Funko Pops.
Yeah, like we could definitely get
chairs.
A booth at, you know, like. We just
make it was probably like way expensive to get a vendor. Like,
yeah, but we could just. How many the Man, the Myth, Arrow T-shirts do you think you need to sell at Comic-Con to pay for your booth? You know what I mean? Or like logo Brazers Pornhub logo ripoff tee.
Yeah,
you know, like,
you probably get bagged for that. They probably have people like brand like. You know, people like walking around protecting that.
And like so Brazzers had their own thing, and like some of the bigger places had their own thing, and that had like I think that was like an additional payment, and they had like their own security. But hey, if I wanted to, I could have like put on a collar and gone and like gotten put in a cage for a few minutes if I wanted to, you know, just to test it out, you know.
Yeah.
See if I want to buy a $12,000 sex cage, you know, from a vendor. I could have done that, but you know, I didn't.
Could just get off Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you just? So it was fun. It was fun. It was interesting, and you know, there weren't as many creeps as I thought. Like there were definitely creeps, but it's almost like, you know, because once again, I hate to sound ignorant, but you think about this strip club, and it's like, hey, you get out of here. Hey, you know, put a tie on or get out of here. You have sneakers on, get out of here. So it's like, it was much more welcoming. Everyone was much more welcoming. Like, you know, all of the actresses were like, hey, hi. It's like, oh, hey, you know, what's up? You know, so it was cool.
Well, they're trying to make money. Maybe she said hi to me. Oh, shit, she kind of likes me. I'm going to go over there. Oh, $25 for a picture.
No, that already happened to me this week, too, with the sports gambling. So,
yeah,
you know, I was already kind of tapped out from the sports gambling. But that was the beginning of the end because Sunday I didn't look at my sports. I just thought I was safe. Turns out I wasn't safe. I lost it all. So,
I was, I didn't do much this weekend. I just did the football thing. I think I did do something this weekend. And I'm just like spacing on it, but yeah, just the usual memes. Watching YouTube, watch a lot of, watching a lot. Now that I'm not doing the Halloween horror films, I've been watching like recaps of all the Halloween films. Or horror films rather. So I found this one that was about Michael Myers, like the Halloween, like John Carpenter films.
That's what I think that you're getting to your note, and your note for the show is very.
I'm
funny.
trying to track
that. Am I interrupting you because I'm
It's all right. It was just I want to bring it up because I was like, oh, this is cool. This guy's doing such a good job with this video about the film, and he keeps using wrestling like jargon. He's like, oh, this guy's the big bad heel. She's the baby face. Oh, this is the gimmick. He gigged a lot of this and that. Curtain jerk, baby face. And I'm like, takes a bump off the house. And I'm like, this is so fucking cringe.
The
like
guy has a good
I
idea.
couldn't finish it. I had to go find some other
He's a niche.
YouTuber to like
He's a niche,
you know.
niche.
I
is his
commented.
name
I was
Joe
like, yo,
Blow?
using all those wrestling gimmicks made me like non-subscribe and move on to another YouTuber.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm a wrestling fan and I hate you.
Yeah. I'm a wrestling fan and I hate you. It's like, yeah, he's just trying to be like the niche within the niche. But yeah,
How many I'm a wrestling fan and I hate you t-shirts do you think we need to sell to afford our booth at WrestleCade?
Where's WrestleCade?
I don't know.
Man, I want to do, you know what we should do? Because Philly's here. We need to somehow get the bullies into like WrestleCon or like the Collective.
Oh yeah, the Collective. That'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. I can get into the Collective, but
With special guest.
yeah, and then get my ass kicked out because dude would be like, "You're with him? You're with him? You're both the fuck out."
Yeah, I think I'm just into
And then
porn
like,
now instead of wrestling. I think I'm done with wrestling. I'm just into porn.
just keep sniffling away.
Yeah, so
Snowing in April.
snowing in April, snowing at WrestleCon. By the way, today, is it time right now? Are we about to talk about our final? It's kind of like our Halloween wrap up.
Yeah, we have a lot. Yeah, it's our Halloween wrap up. We have a lot of wrestling to talk about. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about Crown Jewel. We got to talk about Dynamite.
I watched
It's literally
Crown
a
Jewel.
1-2-3 punch of fucking lame.
I definitely watched the Crown Jewel.
Yes, I have notes on everything.
I missed, like I said, I missed last night because I was screaming at the television, just coddling and petting the head of my parlay, hoping that it would pay off for me. And I looked this morning, and it's everything I hoped it wasn't. So Wednesday I was MIA. A self high five. Pew! First
So
down.
yeah, they had the what are we calling it? The death of what was
The
it? The
death of Matt Tremont, I guess. The death of.
or is the death of ...
Hey,
Whoa.
by the way, I think it's before we get into the Matt Tremont Cruel Cinematic Halloween match, we need to thank our nameless and faceless benefactor who helped provide us with review copies of this match, if you know what I mean.
Actually, thanks for that, but I also realized my buddy was still logged into my browser.
Oh, so I don't know what you're talking about. So you didn't watch your review copy. You watched it by sharing your buddy's account. Tisk.
Yeah.
How dare you?
And
I
then
watched
it took
the
me like
review
20 minutes to figure out how to find the goddamn. So I was like, oh, it's Matt Tremont. It's H2O, right? I'm like in that bracket, in that tab, and then I'm like Googling where to find it, and it's just a trailer for it, and then dude, there's a whole mess. Then I was like, fuck it. I'm just hitting pad up. And then you're like, it's an hour long. I'm like, no, gotta figure out what to
right. So that was so our plan was to watch this Halloween, and I think it's a no better culmination of your 31 nights of Halloween watch list to culminate with Cruel and Matt Tremont cinematic match live to tape on IWTV.
So is Cruel so wait, this is an ICW production? Or it's
No,
an
it's just an IWTV.
IWTV exclusive.
Yeah. That's
And then
better
who
way
is
to-
Cruel? I've never seen him wrestle. before.
He's the guy that Matt Tremont fights in the video. That's all you need to know. He's a guy with a mask and serpent eyes.
So this guy looks like
He's got a wrinkly head. He's got a wrinkly old
from
head.
that one video game. What video game is that with they got like those masks and then the guns and shit? Is it Payday or Army of Two or something?
Christ, Joe.
I don't know.
Jesus.
Anyways, so we found the video and it ended up being an hour long, and I texted you
Right,
saying,
that was your first note. The first note was an hour.
"What are we doing for an hour?"
Because
What
during
the
the week,
fuck?
we're like, let's just meet up during the week. We'll watch it together like 20 minutes, whatever. And then it's
Yeah,
like,
it'll be
an
fine. And
hour.
we did not research it enough.
So
But we just took notes. We watched it separately.
yes, and I don't know how extensive your notes were, but I started out as a House of Fire and definitely like trailed off because I got sucked in. I trailed off because I got sucked in, Joe.
Yeah, my notes consisted of 0 notes.
So
I don't know, I'm pretty sure I'm just doing it all.
let me
in my way, but I'm
set the
pretty sure.
stage. Let me set the stage for all the viewers at home. So the trailers looked pretty good, and I guess it's almost like a Blair Witch type of cinematic jaunt.
Oh wait, can I first preface one thing?
Oh, please.
This
do,
is the
please.
only cinematic match I've ever seen.
No, you've seen
Yeah.
others.
I've never seen any of the COVID stuff.
You've never
'Cause that
seen
stuff-
the Ultimate
like Taker,
Deletion.
AJ, and none of that stuff. I've never seen any of that.
You haven't seen.
I didn't watch wrestling during COVID.
What about Matt Hardy Ultimate Deletion?
Oh wait, I did see that. I'm
Okay.
sorry. So I guess now that I remember.
But your track record on cinematic matches is not as
Yeah, it's not that I don't like him. I just never. It's just like I'm just gonna avoid a second COVID hit. I was just like, I'll be back in wrestling in 2021. Like I just like bowed out and then stopped watching.
Hey, what's up, Urko? What's up, Larry? What's up, Brian? What's up, Loganstein? Bren?
What's up, everybody?
Loganstein, I see you again. Pork Chop Express coming into the chat. Hello, everybody. We're talking about the Matt Tremont Cruel match right now. We're going to talk a little bit of Crown Jewel as well, and then we're going to finish with AEW. But so it's a cinematic match, and
Yeah, I never saw Cena Wyatt either.
the trailer. Well, that you gotta go watch that. That's great.
Yeah.
What about the
I will.
Boiler Room Brawl between Mankind?
Maybe. Oh no, I've seen that. Wait, that's considered cinematic then?
Well, yeah,
I guess so.
half of
Because it was taped, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what I'll do. I've never seen Taker Styles now. Maybe that's what I'll do in the interim till next week's episode. I'll just watch all the cinematic matches ever.
Do you know my friend and OG bully Bald Steve? You're familiar with him, right?
Yeah.
During COVID, because he's like a successful, intelligent filmmaker. So during COVID, I was like, oh, I have an idea for a new show. Let's watch all the cinematic matches together, and you could break it down for me as like a filmmaker. And we did like 3 or 4 in one afternoon, and he just shit on all of them the same exact way. So it didn't become a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like he was just making you understand why they're boring and it sucks, and the show was boring and sucked. So that was cutting room floor bullies right there for you. Side note.
Yeah. And the time I was not watching cinematic matches, I was speed running Resident Evil or whatever I was doing in 2020 or something.
Yo, I kind of miss COVID times. I was making more money than I ever made before in my life, and
Yeah, I missed that shit so much, bro.
It was the best.
Not even just the money, just like the social aspect of Twitch and just all the memes that came with it.
That was
Now
so
this
good.
is what we're doing.
Yeah. Now we actually gotta it's fucking
Look at
bullshit.
look where we're at.
And all the bad things about COVID still exist. Like they put a plastic bag over the karaoke microphone.
What? Get the fuck out of
They
here!
put bags over karaoke microphones now to this
in
day.
New York, they do that.
Yo, and you know what's actually crazy now that you mentioned it? I was in 7-Eleven before. That's why we were late, because I was sitting at 7-Eleven, and it was packed with people.
I was on my way getting to my free pizza, too.
With your people, with your fucking DoorDash people. Why 7-Eleven allows DoorDash people into their premises. Listen, if you live in New York and you want 7-Eleven pizza, you don't deserve to live. All right? That's number one. But,
Yeah,
anyway.
it's because people will get, like, gummy bears and ice cream sandwiches and, like, soda and Advil all from the 7-Eleven.
These fucks. So anyway, we're in a packed 7-Eleven. It's like impossible to get out of there. And the woman next to me goes, "There's COVID everywhere. Come on!" She used COVID as an excuse to try to get like everybody moving. So I thought it was like kind of creative. Like, all right, hey, throw it back. Let's go.
Got an alligator.
So
Did you see the alligator that was allowed into the Flyers game the other day?
no, I didn't.
They tried to bring a service animal that was an alligator into the Phillies game, and they got denied. And then they went to the Flyers game, and they allowed it in. It was a baby like an alligator, like this big.
What kind of service animal could an alligator? How good of a service animal could an alligator even be?
I mean, service or emotional support.
Oh, he needs a doctor's note.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry. All right, let's get on
this
with
this IWTV thing. Once we finally found it, it's basically like the making of the match. At first, because I'm prone to hate, so I was looking at it with a very vengeful eye at first.
Right.
And the first thing I see on my screen is like an interview with the Kirks, which I wrote dozens of notes about how lame the Kirks are, and I didn't write another thing about this whole video.
Well, the first thing, yeah, you had the Kirk's 20
I-
minute segment into the 2-hour pod,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But that I noticed that you mentioned how many times that Brandon lit the cigarette
In the very beginning, right.
It was like lit cigarette, says something, and then she says something, Casey, and then cut, click, lighter again.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, that was a quick cigarette.
Yeah. And then that one like became unlit, and then he lit that one again. So within the first 90 seconds of this video, it's almost like, imagine like a cold open of a horror movie, like, let me tell you the story of Cruel, like just
About deathmatch wrestling.
yeah,
Why
let me
do
tell
you
you
love
about
it?
deathmatch wrestling.
If someone it's like someone asked you what deathmatch wrestling was, it's like, oh, it's that fake shit, that hardcore shit.
And I wake up in the fucking morning and I say to myself, you know who I would love to explain fucking deathmatch wrestling to me? The Kirks. Get the fuck out of here. And then on the table, like, they perfectly, like, curated the table so that the PWI, where Casey Kirk was, like, 150, which is, like, a sham and a blight on the entire wrestling community, that's on the table. And then on the other side of the table is, like, a wedding photo.
A blight.
And then they have like White Claws and like American Spirit cigarettes. It's like, oh my God, yeah, of course. If anything screams deathmatch wrestling to me, it's a table full of White Claw and American Spirits.
It was
Oh, my
White
God.
Claws, and then what was that other one that people drink that has the vodka soda in the can?
Oh, High Noon
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, it was like
One of those.
Jersey High Noon. They didn't have. It wasn't a real.
Oh,
High
it's
Noon.
stateside
Yeah, it was
vodka soda.
budget High Noon, America's
Yeah.
choice.
Stateside's all right.
So I guess they're talking about, and yeah, I guess if you are allowing the IWTV storyline to take hooks in you, I guess Cruel and Casey Kirk had like a thing with Brandon Kirk and her. They had like a little love triangle, kind of like, what have you done for me lately? I need protection against the big bad, and Cruel's going to be my thing, and it's a Bride of Frankenstein thing. That's cool. Except the only thing that makes that suck is that Brandon Kirk has the worst facial hair of anyone I've ever seen, and Casey Kirk looks like she works at a CVS.
Can you open this up? I need the deodorant.
Excuse me. So
Speaking, as a sidebar, so when I do DoorDash and have to go to the 7-Eleven to buy like 2 random things, it's always the biggest pain in the ass because it's Philly. And so I was at hey, can you please open this for me? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back. 10 minutes later, they come back with the key.
oh, because even like all the stuff is behind glass.
yeah, like all the meds and everything, pretty much. Soap.
Excuse
anything
me.
you
Can
could
I have
flip-
some of this? I need some of this beef jerky. Could you go get the key?
Anything you could eat or flip to make money for crack.
So So then also, by the way, side note, this wasn't in my notes, but Brandon Kirk I saw was wearing a similar chain to one that I own. So this video did help me realize I need to buy a new chain because I can't be wearing what Brandon Kirk is wearing. So
Yeah.
so what
Oh, well.
happens is they finally ask Casey Kirk about Cruel, and Brandon Kirk, he gets up, he storms out. He says, "Get this shit off me. I'm done. I'm done with
I
this."
skipped.
interview."
Well, I was over it within the 5 minutes, so I skipped to the actual.
So,
Match.
and this was like, okay, I had mixed feelings too, because obviously like the IWTV guys or the GoPro guys, whoever the guys were who were like involved in making it, I have
Mark 1 and Mark 2.
I have mad respect for them because it is, I will say that it overall is a good piece of business. It's a creative, well executed piece of business.
Oh, the production was dope. Yeah.
But it definitely was a little bit like masturbatory or whatever, like, jerking. They were jerking each other off because they
Masturbatory.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Because they wrote themselves into their movie, which is
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever. So then what happens is the IWTV guy, I guess, gets like a late night call or like a evil font letter that
Yeah, it
has
was
a
like-
voiceover of like a hello, I am the main.
It was like reading from the Necronomicon or something.
we need you, IWTV, to come to the forest of enchantment to
The
film
bloody
a
bloody
wrestling.
font, Microsoft Word,
So
bloody
the
font.
guy's in his office from IWTV. He's like, well, fuck it, let's let's just go.
It was
Fuck
funny.
it, fuck it. Why not? Let's go film this match.
Still no match, no wrestling yet. It's just this is all build up to
Right,
a match.
and you
by
did
the way.
text me that the shit didn't start until 33 minutes in.
It was 60 minutes flat, I think.
And
Was it?
I gotta say that then Brandon, but I gotta go back because I have all these notes about the Kirks that I have to say. So Brandon Kirk, he's talking about deathmatch wrestling, and he's like, there are two people who do deathmatch wrestling. There are people who like learn it the right way, and there are people who just do it for the clout and the fame and to get noticed. And I'm like, Brandon Kirk, who is getting noticed? Who is doing that?
That is true. I mean, a lot of people did try to get over with the
But
death
the idea
matches,
that there's even clout to be had, it's like, you increase your following count from like 200 to 250. Get the fuck out of here. And it's like, but Brandon Kirk, he knows. He's been doing deathmatch for 8 years. Look at his body. LOL.
Well, even Gage, I remember Gage said that somewhere. He said that on like when Brett used to do the live Facebook sales. Gage said that when they were like, it was like Nick was like signing cards or something and selling them to chat members. And he was like, yeah, I don't do this shit. Like other people do this deathmatch shit to get over. I don't need that shit to get over.
Well, the misnomer, the misconception in that comment is that they do it to get over, but they're not any more over than you are, which is not over at all. So like you do it for the fame and the clout, but it's like, shut up. Like, just shut up. Oh, my God. And, yeah, the person who I need to be telling me about fucking deathmatch fucking laws and parables are the Kirks. Get out of my face. Oh, and by the way, I also love that Brandon Kirk, like, they ask about the cruel stuff, and Brandon was like, his acting was so bad, he flipped out. He's like, I didn't know you were going to go to the cruel stuff so quickly. It's like, so quickly, dude. I've been watching this for 9 minutes. We're 9 minutes in. Can we
25-minute fucking interview.
Cruel is a Punisher, and I find that to be very funny because the real term for Punisher is that it's a person who won't stop talking to you at your merch table. So I just think it's very funny that the Kirks have never had a Punisher at their merch table, so they called Cruel a Punisher because they didn't know the real meaning of it. I just
So
think
a
that's
Punisher
very-
is like a mark that goes up to a wrestler and
right,
doesn't
who, like,
leave them
will
alone.
not no social
Yeah.
cues. Like, we'll just stand
Yeah, like,
there
hey
and
man, what's your favorite match? Hey man, how'd you feel when so and so sat on your face? Is it true you had some backstage heat with you know?
So anyway, so what happens is then we cut to, so we do the Kirks, and then we cut to Matt Tremont sitting in his office. A lot of ciggy smoking in this. There was
Yeah,
so
a lot
much ciggy smoking in this. It's like they couldn't.
Because I think the sig being lit is like a sign of like stress or like kind of ambiance building, I guess, in a way in a film.
Oh yeah,
like,
and I'm
ching,
sure
click.
I'm sure that the guys
Yeah.
from IWTV read that.
motherfucker. Yeah, motherfucker.
So Matt Tremont's sitting in this.
Motherfucker.
He's sitting in the back, like, I don't know, balancing his checkbooks for H2O, and some
Is
guy.
that his real office, by the way?
That's his real house.
No fucking
actually.
way. Oh,
So-
that's his house? Okay.
Yeah,
Because
in
it's
his
all
office.
figures just randomly marked all over the wall and shit.
So
Like
anyway,
wrestling figures and
I
posters
don't
and
want to.
shit.
I don't want to translate my Kirk hate over to Tremont. He
Okay,
was
that's
looking
fine.
good. He was smoking the cig. Some guy in a jacket comes in. He's like, I got this mysterious letter for you. So there was a series of like mysterious letters, and like, some guy talking about, sacred ground. There needs to be a thing in sacred ground. So Tremont. So then we cut back to the camera crew. Also, all driving with cigarettes in their mouths in the van. So the camera crew, they got the map, and they're like, huh? Where are we? So they get the map and they go to try to find where this match is because they're about to film it. And then Tremont shows up, and then he shows up with his wife and his dog Sullivan, and he goes, "Hey, you two, get the fuck out of here." So like Chrissy and the dog pull a U-turn, and then Matt walks deeper into the forest, but they didn't even like cut the shot so you could think that Matt walks like a real human being. It was just like a wide of him like hobbling. And he looked like he already been in the match.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe it was
It was like
recorded after the match.
But you know,
Maybe they didn't do it in chronological order.
But you know, you've been to H2O. You know how Matt like kind of shuffles around. Like he looks like he's in a lot of pain. So like instead of trying to pretend, like as he's walking into the consecrated woods, you know, of like satanic fucking, you know, death match, buried
The Nobi
alive
cabin. Yeah.
They just had the camera on a tripod. He just like hobbled by. So then what happens is like Matt and the IWTV guys meet up and they have their gear and they're like walking through the woods. They're like, what the fuck? Where the fuck? And then I got to say that at this point.
Oh, they found like a dead body, like a hung up body or something.
Right. And they all puked. Right.
Yeah. They start puking and then Matt's like,
Motherfucker.
Let's get this motherfucker.
Lights a cigarette.
Lights cigarettes. Says
Lights
motherfucker
3
again.
cigarettes and puts them all into the other guy's mouths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
It's a buff.
But I will say, I will say, and I want you to take over. By the time the ring that they had set up was revealed, I was kind of like into this because you know they had like the fire pits and the tiki torches, you know, and they had
torches. I thought those were funny because they're like from Walmart.
Right, and you know everybody who watches IWTV is a tiki torch white as well. Tiki torch white man, pretty much. Yeah. But you know,
Jersey.
So it's like you know they have a ring already with just the planks on it. And the planks are kind of fucked up. And and so when they finally got to the match and Cruel revealed himself from the woods and bury your fucking dead. Bury your fuck. I was like, yo, I'm into this. They had a whole they had like a satanic priest ring announcer.
So that guy, I think I've seen him. You're not gonna like this. I think he represented Cass or somebody at that Circle 6 show I went to in Nashville.
Like that. You're right. I don't like that show.
Yeah. So I think he was on that show. He wasn't as doctored up as he was in this video or match or whatever.
And this guy that we're speaking about, the satanic ring announcer, who's kind of like the you know, sinister minister of the occasion, if you will. He hopped over on commentary, right? It's the same guy. So the way they
did the commentaries was done in post, right?
The Rev. Yeah, it must have been done in post. But I will say I do like the way that they did it, where the one guy, he was just part of the IWTV crew. So it's almost like he wasn't supposed to be the commentator. He's like, all right, guys, like, we're here. Like, we're filming this thing. Like, fuck it. Let's go live. And then, like,
it's like, oh, we'll get phone signal. We'll live stream somehow.
Yeah, we're going to live stream it somehow. But that guy became, like, the Michael Cole, so to speak. And then the Reverend was, like, you know, the color. And the Reverend would always go like, we are here in the desecrated chapel of hell. And I'm like, you know, and at first, and this is where my note trails off, Joe, and I'm going to give it to you. But at first, like, my final note was like, bury your dead. Awesome. Commentator, wrestling, sucks. Shitty.
Yeah.
But that's only because I was kind of jarred by the Reverend at first. It was a little hokey at first, and then that was also accompanied by like Matt Tremont, his opening salvo against fucking Cruel were like punches where he was like opening his hand, and it's like a cinematic match. Just like lay him in, like just lay him in,
like the right hand.
Yeah, and Cruel is wearing like a fucking like girdle. You could give him a closed fist to the ribs, you know, like you could like it's cinematic. You can lay it in. So that's what.
But as for like the match itself, I mean, it wasn't anything outside of a standard death match in the woods, you know.
No, it was. But they had some.
They used tubes. They used the gussets. They used, and then the gimmick was that they were supposed to bury him alive and turn him on fire or whatever, right? Is that what the stipulation was?
Yeah, the stipulation was buried alive. Point Matt threw Cruel in a coffin, but the coffin.
Yeah, that's right. And he hit him with the the particle,
The
shitty
foam. the-
They hit him with like he took like, it looked like he was gonna hit him with the cover, but it ends up just being a big sheet of like shitty particle board and just
see,
like exploded.
I gotta say that Matt is the man. Matt is the man because okay, so there was one point. Okay, so the punches I was kind of hating on, but then there was one point where Cruel like held. They had like a crutch with gussets like glued to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like holding Matt, like choking him with it.
Oh, with the crutch?
Right, with the crutch. And there was a wide shot, and the crutch was only like right here. You know, like obviously like wasn't on his neck. And Matt, because Matt's like the king of fucking like improv. So he goes, well, if you're going to do it, do it. You know, and it's like strangle me, you know. So it's like Matt, like saved that part, saved that, you know. And there was that moment that where he threw Cruel into like the coffin, right? And then he picked up the foam custom like screen printed you know, like headstone, because it said like it was like the IWTV logo like on the headstone.
Is it supposed to be like Super WrestleMania when Taker like has the tombstone, you know?
But
hits him over the head.
But I was thinking about this. This was like a first guess because it, like, for instance, if it was somebody lame like Brendan Kirk who picked up the foam headstone, I'd be like, oh my God, you stupid idiot. Like, you don't pick it up, you know?
Yeah.
But like when Matt picks it up, he's so full of like emotion. It almost doesn't matter that it looks like a little wobbly and wonky.
Yeah.
And then when he hit him with it, he's like, fuck you. Ugh. And it's like, like, yeah, Matt's just using, he's got this Terry Funk-ish element.
Well, he can get anything over within that whole like
where he's like
atmosphere
a wily
of gimmicks and everything all over everywhere, you know? That's why he's one of the best, right?
Yeah, I really think that he's the best. And that's the smartest thing that Brendan Kirk said in this video, is that he said Matt Tremont's the greatest deathmatch wrestler of all time. And I might be inclined to agree, honestly. And all right, wait, we'll get to the end in a minute. So walk me through, because I kind of fell off. I didn't watch the final spots.
Well, there's nothing real. Like I said, I didn't have any notes. I'm gonna have to like just improv. But the last spot was just, there was no, I mean, they had bundles they were using. I mean, it was like nothing really, you know, noteworthy. But the finish was he did a very bad choke slam into the pit.
Not great.
And then well, they kind of like edited it weird, you know, to block it. And then he like lit him on fire. He took the tiki torch. Cruel took the tiki torch. It was like the kerosene strip, the river that leads to the coffin, and then the whole like pool opens up with fire, you know?
Right. Well, and they did that in the middle of the match. They really fucked it because there was a door between two chairs. You remember this? And Cruel like sprayed it with like lighter fluid or whatever. And then it was so cool.
Oh, that's right. There was a fire spot too.
So
in the ring, yeah.
but it was so dope. I would love to know if this was improv or not, because there were tiki torches around the four posts, like the four corners. So Cruel sprayed all the shit on there, took the torch, like whipped the torch out, saw that the torch went out, walked over to the other corner, relit it with the other torch, and then put it down on the door, and the door went up like perfect, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn. Like, I wonder if he must have seen that it went out and like improv'd it. And he did it like so smooth. You know, because in wrestling, like they're struggling to light the shit.
Yeah, but that's also live. Like that was edited and recorded. Someone could have easily just yelled,
like, oh, hey,
the torch went out. Oh, okay.
Yeah, go.
Know.
But so
slide it over there. We'll fix it in post.
So whether he improv'd it or whether whoever and by the way, still a compliment. If whoever was producing it realized that and said, hey, do this, still a compliment. You know, like it's hard to notice every detail, but they fucked it up moments later because he set the door ablaze and then it cuts to the wide, and when he actually gets slammed through it, there's just a torch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he set the shit ablaze, then it cuts, and they just had one tiki torch like laying on it. So they kind of fucked.
What was it though? Was it a glass pane?
No, the glass pane I think was later on. I'm talking about the initial like door on fire.
So that was a door. That's what I was referring to, like the one that was bridged on the chairs.
But
I wasn't sure if
they
it
did
was
like kind of
glass
fuck it, because like the visual of him like actually setting it ablaze correctly was dope. But then when you cut to the actual bump, I guess something happened and it went out, and they're like, "Oh well, fuck it, just lay the torch across." Like whatever.
Well, yeah, the match itself was kind of whatever, but I think the production and everything made it pretty cool. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
I think that they did a very good job, and as much as I would love to,
Could have been a little shorter. I probably did without the whole first 25-minute promo with them in the house.
you know, yeah, maybe, or you
I
know
guess
what?
it's the kind of like preface
Well, to set
death
it up and
matches,
shit.
yeah.
Well,
I guess.
and also like, I guess if you wanted to try to sell me on that, the argument would be like, hey, we want this video to have mainstream appeal for IWTV people who might not know deathmatch, right? So let's start it off with like kind of a little light introduction into. And then we can who better than the Kirks? Because then they can transition into like how dangerous Cruel is. However, it went too long and the copy wasn't good and they're not good actors. So like that whole 10, 15-minute thing could have been 2. They could have done that. They literally could have done that interview in 2.5 minutes, probably. Yeah.
Could have been like maybe that was their attempt of, remember how like the old like Frankenstein films and shit, they would have someone come out, they're like, oh, just to let you know, this film may terrify you, it may even horrify you or whatever like that. It's very disturbing or whatever. And then they would go to the actual film. You know what I mean? Remember how they do the Treehouse of Horrors for Simpsons, and Marge would always come out. It was like, oh, they told me to come out here. They told me to come out here and let you know that, that this is really scary or whatever. That was a play off of the old horror movie. So maybe that's what it was, but it went way too long.
Yeah, it definitely went. But once the match started, I started liking it. Once the Bury Your Dead hit, I liked it. And even though at first I kind of hated the Reverend, I'm like, who the fuck? This is crazy. I warmed up to him. Like, they just went for it. Like, they really went for it. And as much as I would love to hate those guys just for the sake of it and call them lame just because whatever, I got mad respect for everybody involved in that production. I really do.
Why isn't like John Carlo or GCW do this? They got one of the best guys to do this, and they don't do it.
I don't know. That's a good question, but I like the idea of somebody who's not John Carlo doing something cool. You know what I mean? Like, fuck John Carlo. You know what I mean? Like, the hungrier the better. And you could sense through this broadcast that whoever made this was very hungry to be dope. And I like that, even though like I could nitpick it and be like, if I was on the team, I'd be saying a bunch of different, like, oh no, we shouldn't do this, but at the end of the day, it's like, it was a solid fucking thing. I think
it was good. I was glad. I mean, that's what made me watch majority of it was the production was tight.
Let me hop in this chat real quick. Yo, what's up, John?
Oh, that's
Richter?
right. They were druids too. There was like 3 or 4 like dudes around the ring,
right? And they weren't even masked. They were just like bearded guys. They were just
it looked like they were just wearing like Hot Topic shirts or like Pro Wrestling Illustrated shirts.
Yeah, Larry, this was my first exposure to the Rev Dan Wilson, and I was pleasantly surprised. It went way too long. I agree. More indie cinematic matches. I agree.
Yeah, that's good. That'd be cool. Like I said,
Larry, you're saying that I guess the masked wrestler has been replaced by this original. I will say that in this video, when one of the producers gets a call, he's wearing a masked wrestler T-shirt in one of the things. So there is an Easter egg there. Yeah, the Druids were lame. Like, why couldn't they just wear like blackout masks? Like, why did they all have to be like white and bearded Tiki Torch whites?
Tiki Torch marks.
Tiki Torch marks. It's even worse.
Everybody's trying to get over, man. That's why they had him on.
Yeah, I got mad respect, and those guys. Although I would probably want to mosh on them at a show, and yeah, there you go, Joe. There you go. Even though the guys who made this are obviously the type of dudes who will go slam pitting rather than moshing, I still got mad respect. Those guys. Even though they're pitters, even though they pit hard. Yeah, I still like them. Yeah, even though they wear like 15 gauge, fucking earrings and shit, like. Yeah. But it was cool. I liked it. And you know what? Tremont carried it. Cruel. I don't think Cruel's that great, but like the deathmatch community and like indie community really is so devoid and like desperate for anybody who like has any kind of mysterious gimmick. So fuck it. Why not Cruel? Who cares? And then, Joe, I know you didn't want to go too long, but I think we're still on. We could do second hour mainstream, but I want to keep doing this.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm ready to shit on stuff.
But then the most important
I'm not used
part,
to complimenting something on this show.
I know.
I gotta be toxic.
But also as Tremont, we touched a little bit on this on Tuesday, as Tremont is prone to do, he is the man in deathmatch with the least fear. He'll go from wearing all black and being Matt Tremont to being all white and wearing Father Tremont's life on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And so now he went full Bane. Matt Tremont has gone full Bane. He was burned alive, buried and killed.
Where did he return with the new gimmick?
I think it's I think he did Uncharted H2O. So somehow Beyond Uncharted has become H2O Uncharted, maybe?
Well, they're not running with Beyond then. You mean Uncharted Territory, the weekly?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're not, what are they not doing the Beyond stuff? They're
Or
only doing
maybe
it at H2O?
this season is Matt and H2O. I don't know. But Matt debuted with the Bane jacket. Hello, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to blow up your stadium. You know?
I had to think about that.
Yeah, and so he came out with the jacket, still with the Bocce Boys t-shirt, and now he's masked Tremont. He's Cruel's like, I guess he's like Cruel's leader in a way. Like Cruel like does Matt Tremont's bidding, I believe.
Yeah, he had to burn him alive to awaken his true
I was saying
potential.
Uncharted Territory, wasn't I?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
you said Uncharted, but I knew what you meant. It was
Yeah, that's
Uncharted.
what I meant. I'm thinking about the video game Uncharted as well. Equally as disappointing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really all I got to say about that. I shout out to Matt for like not only owning Halloween the last 3 or 4 years, but also being not afraid to transition into something like completely different. And he knows that when he transitions into something completely different, that coming back out to the Separate Ways music is right around the corner for another huge pop. So I got mad respect and love for Matt. I hate the way his fucking forehead looks.
Yeah, they like recorded that one segment in his house or whatever. And he was like, it was like after a match.
Yeah, and shit
Like
was all bloody. I think that's just how it looks now, dude.
It's like permanently stained in the grooves of his like New Jack forehead.
Yo, he's got the worst forehead in the history of professional wrestling, bar none at this point.
Because I remember it was like Bully Ray had a bad one, New Jack had a bad one.
Yeah, but none of them have like the horn. Like the horn is like crazy. It's like a new bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Matt does do cool shit, and I like Matt, and I think he made this awesome.
Legend. Absolute legend.
Use promo code Tremont on IWTV.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for indie stuff, I guess. There's nothing. Is there anything else happened in indie wrestling the last week?
Nothing
I
that
tried
I've
to
been
watch
paying
some
attention to.
GCW. Yeah, I tried to watch some GCW shows, and I would, because I have access to those too, and I would look them up on cagematch.net, like look up the show and the rating and the card, and I'm like, I have no interest in watching the show, and I just
You don't
I
care
don't watch
about
it.
Insane Clown Bussy?
I have no. Yeah, who's that now? Is that
Well,
Effie and Allie and
Effie and Allie are teaming with the Insane Clown Posse.
ICP?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. That's pretty bad of GCW. Wait, GCW is doing something with ICP?
I don't know, some shit like that. I think so.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's going pretty low now.
All right, what do you want to talk about? Crown Jewel? Because I did watch the Jewel.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about WWE now.
All right.
I mean, first off, NXT. What's this NXT movie to CW?
Are you talking about CW Channel 11? Does that even still exist?
Yeah, I guess NXT is going there in 2024.
That's strange.
And I also read right before the show that McMahon sold off a bunch of stocks or something like that. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. You keep running the show. I got to take my hoodie off because I'm about to die.
All right. But that stuff I don't know about. I didn't really get much time to look into it. But yeah, Crown Jewel from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, right? And pretty much a shit show. Another glorified Raw, about 4 hours. Let me pull up my notes here. It had wait, what time was it? Did you watch it live?
I did watch it live because I just found myself.
Because it was Saturday at
Yeah.
like 2 p.m., 3
Yeah.
p.m. Something.
So I was like waking up late, having my coffee. I'm like, oh, I might as well smoke a joint, play some Baldur's Gate, and have this on in the background.
Yeah, sorry, man.
But I heard you.
focus.
I heard you say it was a glorified Raw, which I couldn't agree more.
Well, every premium live event is, or whatever they call it, is a glorified Raw. My notes say, "What's his nuts doing in-ring announcements?" Brian Saxton, prob due to Sam Irvine not being allowed to go over there, which means boys can now get over. LOL.
I saw something. Schlack and I tweet each other all about tattooed posers. Basically, me and Schlack have like a poser thread. That's like the only time we talk is when they're posers. And rest assured, I sent him a screen cap of the Kirks on this as well. But
so wait, who's a poser on here?
well, because you mentioned Samantha Irving, and there was a post on like WWE TikTok that Samantha Irving has like one tattoo right here.
Oh, she has like the Beatles.
Right, it's like the Beatles or like Michael Jackson, and she goes, and it's like, Samantha Irving, what's the toughest place to get tattooed? And she's got complete bare arms, bare chest, bare back, one tattoo right here, and she goes, probably right here. What the fuck?
Loser.
Yeah, I'm so over her. All right, continue.
So yeah, I guess they didn't fly her over there. So Byron Saxton did all the ring announcements, and yeah, he kind of sank on the show. He was probably pretty rusty, never really was that great of an announcer, and then he was actually pretty shot by the end of the show, voice wise, actually. They opened up with Seth versus Drew, and Seth defeated Drew to retain. I called it a kick out fest. It was your typical everyone's kicking out of their finisher kind of thing. But they did kind of have me going. I thought Drew was going to win.
We both said last week that Drew was going to win, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I mean, Seth will continue to get the belt over. That's fine. But,
Well, and in the end, they did the one obvious change, but none of the ones that we were hoping for either.
You mean like angle wise?
Right. Like we were kind of like hoping against hope. I feel like we talked ourselves into the logic of Drew winning.
And then turning heel or something.
Yeah, like we were like, oh, Drew's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. It's like, nah, like you guys overthought it. It's Seth. Like, don't even stress it. Yeah.
Anytime you're not into a match, but Drew McIntyre's in the match and he comes out, you immediately are into the match because he has like one of the sickest fucking themes.
Sorry, yeah.
But it's more about like the guitar, like the ding, the ding, like it's like Scottish. Oh, it has the like the sound, like the
Shing.
It's
What
so
the fuck is up,
fucking-
Denny's?
Yeah. So yeah, that was fine, but the match was good and all.
Yeah, Drew's awesome. Drew's momentum leading up to this, I feel like he deserved better. What, he's just there. He did this whole week-long thing just to lose to Seth and like move on to a new thing now.
Week long hype.
Yeah, it was like a whole 2-week-long fucking thing, dude.
That's a long program, brother. Rhea Ripley retains in women's 5-way.
Now
Ridiculous.
you thought she was gonna lose.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Oh, because I was a 5-way and I thought like they'd somehow protect her in it.
Right.
But they pushed the shit out of the Judgment Day, so like I should have known better. Ridiculously long entrance for Rhea, with Saudi dudes all walking out slowly for what seemed like an hour. Then randomly her music hits. Do you remember her entrance?
I never forget a Rhea Ripley entrance.
All right, so like it's all these like dudes coming out one by one like druids, and they all start walking out, and it's so slow and it's going on for so long, and it kind of sucks, and then all of a sudden it's just like like her music just fucking hits, and then okay, they don't do anything. They don't carry torches. They don't carry tiki torches from Walmart. They don't do anything.
Ah, well, huge mistake there.
I don't know what they were. I don't know what the point was. I don't know. And then commentary didn't get it over. No, they were silent the whole time. So
Well, I'm just happy that Rhea retained because more Rhea, more happy Patrick.
she was she did the crow makeup.
Right.
Is that what she was doing? Yeah. The match itself was whatever. I mean, I don't know if anyone got injured in it. I didn't hear anything about it after, but I was expecting it.
Apparently there was a kitty. Apparently there was a kitty backstage. Have you seen this?
What?
Apparently,
There was a cat.
right before the women were about to go out, some stray cat just ran into the gorilla, and they were all petting the kitty.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. So
It's like when the cat ran on the onto the football field.
yeah.
I saw that video the other
And
day.
then I
They were
saw
trying to
that
chase somebody ran to
somebody-
the end zone.
I think Kathy Kelly took a picture of Rhea petting the cat and photoshopped her own head on the cat's head.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
you
because
know,
they all simp for each other and shit.
hey, shout out, shout out.
Solo Sikoa defeats Solo Sikoa defeats John Cena. Thank God.
They threw back to like the Brock Lesnar squashing of John. They kind of like tried to recreate that vibe a little bit.
Yeah. I said thank God because it's about time Cena put somebody over.
Yeah, but he's been doing a good job. He's been giving back.
John Cena retired as well.
Well, and also the strike is over as per like yesterday.
Literally like the next day, he's like, "Oh, this is perfect timing. I will one day be back to the WWE."
You think the
This is not
Illuminati
that
told
day.
him like, "Yo, drop this match because you're about to go back to work, son."
Yeah. I also said Swerve does Solo's entrance theme. You hear a Solo's entrance theme? It sounds like Swerve sings it.
I mean, Swerve is a mogul of many.
It kind of
different-
sounds like it kind of sounds like that. Then they had a Grayson Waller effect. Horrible. Saudi dude does people's elbow with Miz. Did you
Hell
see
yeah.
this?
No, I did not.
This
think I
was
might have been
arguably
getting
one of the
lunch.
worst segments of the decade, actually. I guess it was a Saudi Arabian wrestler that they have, and he was out there in his garb, and then Miz was there, I guess, and then he did they threw him into the Miz threw Grayson Waller into the corner, and then this dude did like the kick up over the rope on the outside, and then he did some other move.
I hate
forgot.
this. I'm already bored. I'm already bored.
It
of
was
this.
fucking bad, bro. It was so bad. Easily the worst segment on the show and probably of the last decade.
Wow. That's covering a lot of ground.
Io Sky retains and
Hey!
Kyrie Zane returns. Awful back fist. Did you see this?
Terrible.
He
But
was like-
you know what? I don't care. Anything she wants
You're
to
just
do.
like
Nah, anything that those two Japanese women want to do, I am in full support of. That elbow drop is so gnarly. And she
her
didn't even
elbow drop's amazing, but like the back fist, like I guess that's one of her signature moves, or maybe it. It was, she did it to, who'd you do it to? She did it to Bianca.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so bad. I don't know what happened with that.
No, I love
But,
that. And the elbow wasn't even that dope, but as long as she just shoots those legs out into like whatever you want to call that, where she just jumps and goes, whee! That
'cause
is just
the
the
legs
dopest.
go up, and it looked like she was getting so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
I was very, very pleased to see that back in my life.
I wonder if her and Naya spoke or buried the hatchet.
Well, or
She's
maybe
probably
they'll
gonna
just-
bury her soon. Probably,
Yeah,
right?
probably. Well, and then I like how they're doing the storyline, like that Bailey had no idea. That Kyrie Zane was going to come back, the Pirate of the Sky or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck.
The pirate of the sky, the pirate genius.
Pirate genius.
The pirate prince. No, they're calling her the pirate princess, or something like that.
Well, she's all of the above. John Richter says, I simp so hard for Rhea, but I'm sure so does everyone else. Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing. like I'll simp for you as hard as possible until you become the #1 simp target. Then I got to move on. You know what I mean? It's like I used to
I've already
love.
moved on. I moved on after she was in the Mae Young class and came back tatted to the gills.
I loved Zach Galifianakis. You know, when he was the first comedian to have his stand up on Netflix, I was like, wow, this guy's great. I love Zach Galifianakis. And then Zach Galifianakis made it into The Hangover, and I was so happy for him for all his success. But I was like, you know what? You're too big for me now, Zach. It's time for you to move on. It's time for us both to move on, go our separate ways.
Yeah.
You're too popular, and I hate popular things. So I'm so happy for your success, but bye-bye, buddy. You know, so that's kind of how I feel about Rhea, too. It's like, oh, yeah, it's the same reason why I won't touch Lexi Luna at the porn con. I'd rather be the one guy at the porn con not grab an ass than grab all the asses in the world. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's right. Just right here.
What,
right here.
Did you watch the next match? Cody and Damian?
Yes, that one I was locked into, and I was even texting the lads.
Good. So you can talk about it because I left and did something.
I'm going to tell you right now, Joe, I've had a rough day with the sports gambling, and as I described to you, and I know we have a no smoking policy on this show, but I just found a little half of a joint, so I'm going to smoke it while we do this. Because of my losses. Okay, listen, we're not going to make a habit out of it. And Joe, I don't want you pulling a Brian and bringing your bong on the show. You know, I don't want you bringing your huge, massive bong. I see it over your left.
That's my bong back there.
Right, the fan.
Blue.
The blue. That's. I thought it was the one over your other shoulder. Oh, here he goes. Yeah, we're smoking. That's how Jedi Joe smokes weed, everybody.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother. Hey, before we keep going, did you watch this Man Pondo interview?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think it might have been our worst interview ever?
No, why?
I don't know. I feel like we had him and Rob Black co-intersect and intermingle, which is a little
I didn't realize there was heat between them until you guys were talking about it.
Well, I don't think there was heat. I think it was just a little awkward.
Well, can you enlighten me to why?
Well, I don't know. I don't think there's any heat. I just think that as a general rule, you don't have guests overlap on your pod, and it makes It makes the two guests.
I thought maybe like he didn't pay him or something.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything like that.
Yeah, I thought that's what maybe it was.
Hey, everybody, tune in on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for Boulevard Bullies versus the World, and every Thursday, 8 p.m. for Here Comes the Lame. Joe, please continue to break down the crown jewel for us.
Well, I didn't see the Cody versus Damian.
Oh, right. So. Okay, I'm taking over. So
I know Cody won, but I don't know what exactly.
So I'm not as huge.
We also failed to realize that Damian tried to cash in after.
Drew and Seth.
Yeah,
he was sauntering around.
He was about to cash in. No, he was like, here's my briefcase. I want to cash it in.
Right. That's how it sounds.
And then Generico came out. Then Sami Zayn came out and chased him through the crowd. Yeah.
So I'm not as high on Damian Priest as everybody else is, but I was texting the lads as this match was happening, as both guys were making their entrances. I was like, yo, this match is about to be dope. This is gonna be awesome.
I saw the beginning, and then for some reason I walked away.
Honestly, it really wasn't.
They did the whoa, and then he jumped off the rope, and then Damian attacked him. And that was it.
Yeah, you know, they had some like cute little fun details and switch ups, but you know, it was you nailed it right on the head. It was basically a Raw match. It was basically a Raw match with no commercials and like 3 more minutes added to it. You know, same thing, interference, fight off, and you know, and that's what happens. The numbers game pops up, and either the person overcomes or fails to overcome, and in this case, Cody overcame.
Yeah.
And I guess the mission statement at the end was that, like, Cody's back on the path to finish the story.
I have to finish the story in Philadelphia.
That's right, because Philly's always had a close place in Cody Rhodes' heart, as everybody knows. Smoke it. Yeah, rip it. Let's go.
It wouldn't be a Bullies production if I wasn't ripping bongs and
I wasn't 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens after Damian and Cody?
I missed part of this match too, which was the main event. Roman Reigns defeats LA Knight to retain.
This is
I was
another
super
one.
behind it.
This is
Yeah,
another one. Entrances were awesome. In-ring intros for the big fight feel were awesome. I found myself feeling very excited for LA Knight that he was wrestling such a high caliber match.
The crowd was pretty lit.
Yeah, and the crowd was dope. Well, I think that's why
like
they
doing
did
all
it.
the all that shit.
That's why I think they did it, because I think that when they go to Saudi Arabia, the fans are such fans of WWE. Like, those Saudi Arabian fans are like eating. They're not smarks. You know, they're just into it. So LA Knight's the guy, so they're into LA Knight.
Like WWE #1. Like, they're super fan Vlad. Like, #1. Hulk
Right,
Hogan,
so
#1.
they know to boo Roman. So I think that's why LA's match happened at this event, because I think it's like, okay, let's test him out during a PLE in Saudi Arabia, where everyone's kind of like vibing with the product and like going in the direction we want them to go
Like,
in.
they might not turn on him for some reason.
Right,
like,
right. Like, he's safe. He's safe there.
Yeah, he's safe. Yeah, yeah.
Right, and Roman's not going to get cheered because all those fans know to boo. You know, we
Yeah,
missed.
they're not gonna do some weird shit and turn on him.
But
like they do.
I'll end that with just saying the same thing that I said about Cody and Damian. It was a little bit longer Raw match, and in
Yeah.
this one, the numbers game overwhelmed LA Knight, and he got screwed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we missed also the best match of the night.
There was another match.
There was the best match of the night. Do you know what I'm referring to?
No, was it a women's match?
It was Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, did I not have the fucking? For some reason, I don't have the note in there.
You blew it because you were probably enamored. You were probably watching it like mesmerized by how good these.
I was.
two are.
Well, no, it fucked me up because it was on at 2 p.m. in the afternoon or whatever it was. So I was like doing shit around the house. I'm just kidding. I was just playing Diablo.
You're back on that pain
so
train.
Logan
huh?
Paul defeats Rey Mysterio to win the United States
You got
Championship.
It. You got it. Yep. Yo, he did the Shane Mercer too.
Oh, did he press him and then toss him?
No, he got on the middle rope and did a backflip fall away to Ray,
Oh, okay.
which was
The one move that got super over was the Logan Paul saves Rey Mysterio's
Saves his life.
He saves his life.
saved his life, Joe.
Ray's got to retire, bro.
Yo, and I was thinking about that during the match. I'm like, yo, Logan Paul is going so hard right now, and Rey Mysterio is 50 years old. And it's like, okay, yeah, hey, I'm small enough for you to backflip, fall away, slam me. But that doesn't mean that Logan Paul doesn't land directly on your body when he does that. You know, it's like, it still sucks, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, this match was kind of whatever because Ray can't really go. But
Oh,
yeah,
see,
like you
I
said,
disagree. I thought it was fucking dope, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
was
Logan
into it.
Paul's good and he's entertaining.
Logan Paul is so good. And I found myself once again watching this going like, this guy's good.
Yeah. Did you see in the today or was it the day before? He's been posting with the United States title like in his real life.
Yeah.
He had it on like in the shower or something.
He did the standing Shawn Michaels shower pose.
He did he's cuddling next to it with his girl.
And he was sitting on the roof of his house with a cowboy hat on with it on as well. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat fit.
Is he gonna get the United States title over maybe? I don't know.
Well, he said that he wants to go for Gunther at Survivor Series. So I think you might see Logan Paul Gunther at Survivor Series.
That's an odd matchup, but all right.
Yo, I got mad love and respect for
in
Logan
front of the
Paul.
Chicago crowd at that too.
Yo, but I think like Logan Paul does have an element of one of these walk-on ECW guys who's gonna like win the love of the bloodthirsty. Like, because I'm a bloodthirsty and Logan Paul has won my love. So, yo, I could see a match where Logan Paul gets chopped by Gunther 1,000 times and almost wins. And even though he's a prick, by the end of the night, everybody's rooting for him. And it's like a dope match. Like, I could totally see that.
Yeah. They might go that way. I mean, Bad Bunny isn't on his level because he's just not as athletic, but both both those influencer celeb dudes that come in, they put in a lot of work into their training and stuff. So, and it shows.
Well, and everybody says that Logan's like got mad respect and like really cares and is extremely naturally gifted. I think the naturally gifted part comes through in the ring for sure.
Yeah.
Show.
Oh yeah. But show overall was just whatever.
Yeah, it was just a Saturday afternoon reason to watch wrestling.
It was just a $50 million show.
Yeah,
That's
just
all.
a quick $50 million payday. No big deal. I'm just watching it as I'm like eating a bagel. Whatever.
Did anything happen on Raw this week that was worth the shit?
Did Randy Orton come back?
I don't think so. I didn't see anything on like Instagram or anything.
Yeah, I guess I would have seen that too. Maybe I saw.
Well, if anything happened on Raw, it was worth it. Put it in the chat. If not, we're moving on to
Yeah,
Dynamite.
who cares? AEW time, our favorite part of the week.
All right, so AEW Dynamite from Portland, Oregon. What do you?
Po-o.
3.5. Renee,
Ooh, all right. Well, tell me, did you watch it?
did you watch the show?
No, I did not watch, so I'm going completely blind. So I want you to handicap this, Renee. And don't give me this, don't try to trick me with this like plus 250 shit. Just give me the classic even money over under with Renee.
Yeah, 3.5.
Don't tease me with a plus 500.
No. It was a minus 120.
My entire month's been ruined by being teased by plus 500s.
Over or under?
3.5?
No. You would have to have two amounts though. So to have over, it's like plus 120, but then the under is like minus 125.
Oh, geez. See, this is why I get my heart broken every time I try to gamble.
Minus is the more likely scenario, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
So what are you saying? 3.5? All right. Well, last time I took the action at over 3.5 and I got burned. Hold on. Rip that real quick, Joe.
This is a joint now.
So last time I got a little bit too attracted to the over, like the plus money. So
Can you
now,
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Default microphone has changed. Okay, my screwing around and my mic just.
You're too high. You got too high, Joe.
Oh shit! Sorry, bro.
So last time I got a little attracted to the over 3.5 Renee appearances on the plus 125. So this time I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under 3.5 Renee.
All right, under. So another lame cold open with Shivani this time. MJF, Cole, Garcia. This has to stop. The hole gets deeper and deeper. Cramming 8 angles into one segment ain't it. So it's more the Adam and the Skype call and MJF talking shit to people and Shivani being weird. All to start the show. Like no pyro yet. It's just like this is the thing they've been doing for a month
that happened
now.
again this week.
They've been doing it for a month now.
And
it fucking sucks.
you know what I've seen just from like brief clips, and Joe, it literally makes me shut off or scroll through. Like Roderick Strong no longer just calls for Adam. Whenever he's in a segment,
Yeah, he's like,
even if Adam isn't in it, he will announce himself by screaming Adam. Like MJF will be doing a promo, and off screen you'll hear Roderick Strong go, Adam! But he's about to come in and like talk to MJF.
yeah.
I fucking
I thought he
hate
said
that.
someone else's name too, like Maxwell.
I
Like,
don't
or
think so.
something.
I think from
Yeah.
what I've seen, you might be right because I didn't watch last night. But from what I've seen,
I think
he
he
is
did the
just,
week before or something like
he's
that.
just
maybe.
screaming Adam to like announce himself. Adam is not even around.
But yeah, that started the show. Then the main title hit. Also noticed they changed up the main title at the show.
Let
and
the
they
boo, hit the boo,
Light the boom.
dynamite.
It was all a lot of Wembley stadium shots also added into it. Tony Khan really is proud of himself for that.
I'd love
feat.
to just sock him one right in his face. I'd love to mosh. I'd love to mosh into Tony Khan at a show. I'd love for Tony Khan to show up to a Bury Your Fucking Dead show because he watched the song on IWTV. He's just standing there like, and I'm just like, ha, 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 take that. You don't want to get hit. Get out of the pit, Tony Khan. Hi. I would love to. I would rue the day.
Go get on a hit. Get out of the pit, brother. MJF defeats Danny Garcia to retain the world title. This, I don't know. It was whatever. I mean, nothing really happened. Not that I know of. Not that I remember, but nothing really happened after it. Tony and Sheeta promo. Watch for the shoe. It was a whole promo done in the back with the black and white.
Of course.
In the black and white with Luther there or whatever.
Luther. Keep
Luther
going.
just being there.
Keep going, please.
Renee promo number 1. Golden Jets. Is Matt Jackson the worst promo in AEW? So it was Golden Jets. It was Jericho and Omega.
Yeah, after the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, well, because it's the Winnipeg Jets and Golden Lovers.
Right.
Yeah, so Golden Jets, whatever. Anyways, and then the Bucks come up. They're like, "Hey, remember when like you were with us?" Like that fucking snarky fucking tone he always has. Like, man, like I got an idea. How about when you guys do this, then you face us, and then at Full Gear, it's so fucking annoying. That's why I was like, this is the worst promo because he acts like a fucking. I don't know what he's acting like, but it's fucking lame. And I'm just like, oh man. And then Jericho starts talking shit to them. And then it's just like a lot of just like one-upping, and it's just like really fucking bad, bro. It's hard to explain. But Omega had a good rebuttal. He was like,
oh, hello.
He's like, I don't know why you want to take it there. You know, we're cool or whatever.
I don't know why you want to take it there. We're cool.
Yeah, but then he's like, I don't think there's a shadow of a doubt, not that he didn't say like he was like, I'm better than you, but like, you guys are the number 1 tag team in the world, no doubt about it. But like, if you want to, you best believe that like, if you're facing Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, we're also going to be on our game as well.
Right, because they're really good. I'm gonna do your favorite.
They were both. Everybody was putting each other over. But like, it's just hard to take some of these segments seriously.
I want to do you a favor, Joe, because I feel like I haven't been a very good partner to you. I haven't been watching too much AEW. And I just want you to know that next week, just like I watched this entire Cruel match, most of it, I am going to sit and watch all of AEW and take notes right alongside you next week.
Because you need to back up my notes, or then my review just ends up like dog, because now I'm checking out of it.
Joe's the dick. Joe's the dick, everybody. He's the one who's shitting on AEW, not me. No, I'm gonna watch it all next week. We're gonna be lock in step, and I'm gonna watch this shit next week.
Like the boom.
First down. Pass interference.
Samoa Joe defeats Cliff Lee in a meat of the year match. So like trying to get this meat ding, like, oh, 2 big meats are going at it, and the crowd's like,
because you're the freak of the meat of the week.
What
is
it?
On the TV.
That started with
Was it Rusev and Hobbs?
That's what it was. Yeah,
where they were chanting meat at Wembley.
Yeah, something like that. Or it was no, it was not Wembley. It was All Out in Chicago.
What's Lana doing these days? She's like recruiting.
He hasn't been on the show.
Young strapping gentlemen to be in her faction.
My sexy flexible wife. But yeah, they had a good match. It was good. They were beating the shit out of each other. But yeah, everyone's trying to get the meat thing over. The crowd's like, meat forever, or meat is awesome, or something like that.
I hate them. I hate the crowd the most.
Yeah.
All 300 of them.
So Joe wins, and he proceeds to vacate the TV title. Because he's gonna go after.
Oh, sorry.
He's gonna go after. Is he gonna go after MJF?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah, and then Shivani says, "You talk about a man who is serious. Joe is serious."
I mean, couldn't have said it better myself, Tony.
The Guns squashed the Bollywood Boys, who are making their debut at Dynamite.
Oh, hey, good for them, Bollywood.
They had what's his nuts? Juice Robinson has the cutout of Jay White,
right?
Standee, and he took a cutout of a belt and duct taped it to the fucking standee. So it's
so
like,
stupid. So stupid.
Whole stupid thing now.
Juice Robinson's kind of cool though. He's just insane.
Yeah, so another thing is like I guess the guns like thing is like we got 2 words for if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. And the crowd goes, "Suck it." But then they go, "Guns up." But the crowd always says, "Suck it."
Do you think that Juice Robinson and Tony Storm one night, because they're married, one night after AEW were sitting in a hotel room and it's like, okay, from this moment forward, we are just both going to, in our respective storylines, act insane. Yeah, we're just gonna be insane. Like there is like we're just gonna let go of all inhibitions, and we're just gonna be completely unhinged and full force in our ideas. And like, hey, love you, honey. Mwah, mwah. See you out there. And Juice Robinson's just screaming about his taint and like just doing the most insane shit. And Tony Storm's like doing like the black and white fucking gimmick, just like dancing about and being crazy.
Didn't Juice used to do that? Like, yeah. He tried to get that fucking sound over during a match.
A lot of wrestlers try to recreate this and most fail, but I love like the off microphone talking that gets picked up on the mic or by like the house mics, you know? So Juice Robinson's like a master of that to me.
In the ring or in the back?
Well, when Jay White is cutting a promo and Juice goes like, "I fucking hate you," or like he doesn't say fucking, but he's like, "I really hate you. I hate your guts and I need it."
Like ambient in the back.
It's like in the back, and he's just like he doesn't even need a microphone. He's so invested. And I feel like him and her were like, this shit is a joke. Let's just push it as far as we can and like let's see what happens, and like we'll both just fucking go nuts. And they both went nuts in different great ways, and they're both very entertaining to me. I'm still hanging on to Tony Storm.
Definitely feeding into each other, you know.
I'm definitely a little bit. I'm still hanging on to Tony Storm as being cool, but you know she's very much like Roderick Storm Adam to me. She's on thin ice.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you know that's how they book the show. It's like you get 2 or 3 weeks of good heat, and then it's like all of a sudden, like overnight,
it's got to be a T-shirt.
Yeah, it becomes a T-shirt, or
it's got to be a meme. It's got to be a TikTok.
You get lumped up with a whole bunch of people, or you're just off the TV for whatever, you know, like rough.
See, but it's like I would almost like if they like somebody like Roderick Storm or Roderick Strong, who I don't give a fuck about. He discovered the Adam thing. And before I could even realize why I liked him, they ran it into the ground. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it would have worked for me. Like, he could have done the Adam thing a little bit more, but they have him doing it like 5. Like, that should be the over-under. He's doing Adam more than Renee's even appearing.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah. My buddy got me. He texted me, and he's like, AEW starts with a cold open again, this time with Renee on commentary. Full time, and Justin Roberts couldn't make it to Portland, so now she's going to be doing double duty in the ring on commentary. And I'm like,
oh, he was so much like when the Eagles didn't beat the spread, you ran and flew yourself face first into your sofa, just right, yeah, and then you realize you woke up and realized that your buddy was just trolling you, and you're like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, well, this is going to be a good fucking show to review on Thursday.
But
like, damn, I wish that did happen.
I think the worst part is that you, like, AEW's been so bad that you believed it.
Yeah.
Like, it was feasible. It was feasible.
He's like, I knew you'd believe it. And usually I don't fall for shit ever because I'm like the biggest troll, and, you know, that's my shit. That's my gimmick. I don't fall for shit.
He got you. He got you.
Yeah, he got me good. He listens to the show. Shout out to John.
Hey, shout out,
John. Julia Hart defeats Red Velvet. Sky Blue stare down. Statlander stare down. So bad. They all just come out every week and stare down. Either if they're not spitting in each other's faces, they're just staring at each other. Mm-hmm. And then other girls come out and they stare at each other. And then they're just like,
what about Sky Blue, who's like, she's turning evil, but she's not mad at Willow.
What is the fucking angle here that she's turning evil and going to join her? Like, they don't even know.
No, she kissed Julia Hart on the lips, and now she's evil, and she hates Statlander, but doesn't hate Willow.
Yeah, Willow came out and she also stared at people too, and then they just went in the back.
I gotta
It
stop
barely-
you right now.
It barely progressed. It barely progressed.
I saw one AEW segment this week, and I don't know if it was on Collision or Rampage or on Dynamite. So if you know what I'm talking about, please feel free to jump in. But I saw Lance Archer come out and fight somebody. Was this on Dynamite?
Yeah, it had to be on Dynamite.
So he came out.
No,
and he,
it had to be on. Sorry, it had to be on Rampage or Collision.
So he came out and he fought somebody. And, you know, they're saying, like, oh, since Lance Archer has come back, his average win time has been 2 minutes, 20 seconds. So he, like, beats the shit out of somebody. And, like, something else happens and something. Maybe it's Darby. I don't know. But basically, Jake the Snake introduces Bill Carr and Vincent as, like, Lance Archer's new minions.
Oh, really?
And the
Okay.
last time you saw Bill Carr and Vincent on TV, MJF was shoving one of the guy's heads up the other guy's butt. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you know, you're really in for it now. I've taken these two guys under my wing. The two guys who just got beat in a tag team match by 165 guy. And by
Yeah.
the way, this guy, Bill Carr, had his head shoved up Vince's ass. And Kangaroo kicked into oblivion. But now you guys are all together. And Jake Roberts, he seems like he's going to be the first AEW wrestler to die on camera, honestly.
Sin Bodhi. I remember when I met Jake at New York Comic Con. He had all these gimmicks on his table. Like I was like, he's like signing an action figure for me. I was like, oh, who made these custom figures? And he's like, Sin Bodhi. I'm like, who? He's like, Sin Bodhi. I guess he's like kind of a wrestler. He's a worker, but like he's also an artist who makes like does paintings and does
Shout out
like
Sin.
mock-ups.
Shout out Sin Bodhi.
Sin Bodhi in that Jake the Snake voice. Sin
He
Bodhi.
does not look well. His breath does not sound even. And I'm a little worried for the old fella, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably soon.
I love Bill Carr and Vincent though. I shout out them and like they could like hey, they could get some. They could go get some. They did them dirty on that pay-per-view with Max. They did them dirty so deeply.
You gotta have the tag belts on, right? You gotta have
Yeah.
them.
Oh, and so what? Bill Carr, fucking 25 years in the business, deserves to get his head shoved up Vince's butt. Vincent's butt.
I keep thinking you're referring to Vince McMahon because then he had the butt.
He loves to get things shoved up.
He had the butt angle.
Ridiculous.
I think I missed a note here where something happened with Sting and Darby on the show too. I just realized that because you mentioned Darby, but I don't know what they did, and I
Probably
don't
just
remember
pointed to
Edge.
each other like this.
Yeah, and I don't remember Edge being on the show either.
Edge fucking
Oh.
sucks, dude.
Um,
Yo, and by the way, as if you need any more proof that Edge is done, Creed kicked out Scott Stapp and then got a new singer and became Alter Bridge. Alter Bridge wrote Edge's theme song, Metalingus. Glum, 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 glum. On this day, I see clearly. And they know even Alter Bridge, once Alter Bridge saw Edge appear in AEW, they were like, yo, you know what? Let's be Creed again.
Yeah.
So
well,
like,
now they're back because of the meme when they show Creed play at the Cowboys game.
right, yeah. Let's
And it's
go
like,
there.
And the guy's like this, like fucking fly.
Yo, but you know what's so funny?
Because they were at the Cowboys game like 2 weeks ago. They're at the Rams Cowboys
I
game. where
just
fucking-
heard the news today. Sees my life. Yo, and by the way, if you just want to watch some of what Creed's doing now, it makes Chris Jericho look like Rob Halford. Like, you know, think about how.
I saw a commercial with them. Did you see this commercial too?
No, I didn't.
It was some commercial for something. But yeah, I saw it somewhere. I don't know if I saw it during football, but I was like, oh, Creed's coming back.
Like, if you think that Chris Jericho lead singing for Fozzy is cringe, take one look at Scott Stapp 2023 with his like tight muscle shirt and his like rock hard nipples, and every word of the Creed lyrics that he's singing, he's like mouthing. So he's like, so I just heard the news today. You know, I close my eyes, begin to pray, tears of joy. Yeah, he makes Chris Jericho look like fucking Leonard Skinner, dude. That's how cringy Scott Stapp is. But I am gonna go see them in Philly with you, Joe. And by the way, the Creed tour is like the most Creed that you could ever Creed. It's like Creed, Three Doors Down, Chevelle, you know, like
it's like every band from that era. For Sum 41.
Yeah, I wish, dude. Sum 41 would bring some credibility to that lineup. All right,
Who is Blink going out with?
I don't know, but you know, I said what the fuck is Denny's before? What the fuck is up, Denny's?
I mentioned earlier they did the gimmick.
Yeah,
too.
Blink 182 did a
Denny's. What the fuck is up?
They did a what the fuck is up, Denny's.
And what was the most heartbreaking segment recently, or of the show at least, was Maria May was announced or made her debut, I guess, not in-ring debut, but debut on the roster backstage. She's just like another like Australian, New Zealand,
right? Another
Stardom girl,
Australian,
right?
New Zealand hottie.
Stardom blonde.
Stardom, absolute maniac in the ring, awesome in the ring, super hot, crushing it in Japan, crushing it in Stardom, and now signed apparently to AEW. She's like, enough of this shit.
They decide to have her first land with this RJ City guy and have her act like a fucking spaz, and he acts like a fucking moron.
He is
and
not.
I guess she's gonna do a Mickey James gimmick where she's like a big fan of Tony Storm. She's like, I went to Stardom like Tony Storm, and then now Tony Storm's in AEW. Now I'm in AEW, and get rid of it. And he's like, you can introduce me to her next week. Blah, blah. So maybe that's the whole reason why that dude was doing those, just to.
Yo, RJ City is a very, very funny guy that I never want to hear talk again.
I don't know. Is he from the Indies? I never saw him work.
Yeah, I guess he's from the Indies, and like, you know, he's like an actor. You know what I mean? Like you know how it is. If you have like a bachelor's degree and you're on the Indies, you're automatically like the smartest marketer and businessman that's ever existed on independent wrestling. And I feel like RJ City was one of those. You know what I mean? He was like a guy with like business knowledge and like some improv classes under his belt. And like it was, you know, dipping his toes into the acting. And, you know, he is very entertaining in like a niche setting. But once again, like put him on the television of a wrestling show. It's like
he just looks like a sloppy mess and acting like a weirdo. Like it just.
Ugh. Yeah, and he's friends with David Arquette as well.
Well,
and I'm sure not by David Arquette's choice.
Bad first fucking take or first impression with her. So
if I had just one wish,
she might be
only one demand. I hope RJ City's not like me. I hope he understands that we could take this life and hold it by the hand. And we could treat the world with arms wide open. With arms wide open. Thanks. I just knocked my headphones and my microphone out while rocking out for you, Joe. I hope everything's okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're back. We're back.
Jay White defeats Mark Briscoe in the main event for the Full Gear match.
I hate AEW. Can I tell you a story? I went to a birthday party with Bald Steve. It was like one of his friends' friends. So he invited me as like an outsider. And it wasn't karaoke in a private room. It was karaoke like at a bar that we were all hanging out in. And nobody.
It was like you just go up and it's randos singing.
Nobody knew me except for Steve. Even the friends whose party it was, I was just like his friend. So I go up and sing karaoke, and with Arms Wide Open starts playing the intro, and I look out to the crowd and I say, "Hey guys, this song goes out to my girlfriend, who isn't here right now. She's at home because I just found out she's pregnant. And then I sang With Arms Wide Open, and then I changed, at the very end, I changed the words with, instead of With Arms Wide Open, I was like, my girlfriend's pregnant. You know, and I was working some stuff out, you know? And then when I was done, me and Steve were like laughing about it, and a bunch of guys from the end of the bar, they came up. They bought me a drink. They're like, "Hey, brother, congratulations on your girlfriend being pregnant. Let's do a shot." So I got a free shot from singing "My Girlfriend's Pregnant." Anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you.
See, that's like what I do to work people. You know.
I'm not a very good ring announcer or podcaster, but I'm an excellent karaoke worker.
Yeah. An excellent
liar. Can you take me higher?
It was like the aerial ballet, aerial yoga, right? But yeah, the Devils throw the Acclaim through a fake office glass partition, and then they showed the devil mask again, and he says nothing. Wouldn't it be cool if the devil spoke?
I think it would be cool. Who do you think it's gonna be?
Max, you're a fucking idiot. Like, just say something.
Who do you think it is?
I guess Adam Cole, but I mean,
Britt Baker.
Yeah. What was this about people saying it was Britt Baker?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna try to paraphrase this because I didn't pay enough attention to like care, but I guess there was like and I'm gonna sound so dumb trying to just guess this, but there was like a Doja Cat or fucking Mr. Peppers, fucking Megan Thee Stallion, some kind of like crossover TNT musical appearance advertisement. Maybe it was just an ad spot for AEW that had Doja Cat singing in it, and one of the lyrics was like something the devil, and then when it comes to the Britt Baker's going like this. So then everybody screenshotted that and was like,
yeah. Then all of a sudden the marks there, a screenshot, like yo, this is it, brother. This is it.
They're dropping breadcrumbs.
Well, so she's orchestrating these guys or masked individuals. Maybe it's just Ruby Riott and Paige.
I would love, I just think that on level level 1, even though me and you have watched wrestling,
surface value,
right? Surface value. Even though it's kind of like obvious that it'll be Adam Cole, I think as far as like the shock that it would jolt the marks, I would love that. Like on surface value, if the devil was Adam Cole, it's a little obvious, but I would be like super into that. Like I could roll with that. Like, wow, Adam lured Max in and betrayed him. Adam's the only one more cerebrally evil and manipulative than even MJF. Wow.
But there's no heat, though. That's the thing. It's just like they're not around 1 week, and then they just kind of throw people around the next week. Everyone that MJF.
It's still salvageable. You could bring the devil out for like, a week or two, and then one big reveal, and then the mask comes off and it's Adam. I think that would work for me, brother. But
well, it's going to be at Full Gear, I guess, which is next weekend.
But if it's Britt,
not this weekend.
That's kind of cool because even though I don't really like the pandering towards the women's division, I think something like Britt revealing herself as the devil would be gender bent and meta enough where I'd be like, that's dope. Like, wow.
Yeah, that's the only thing that would work. Yeah.
Britt's the leader. Like, that would be dope. Like, it wouldn't be like, it would make her transcend the women's division. She's the puppet master of Adam and the dudes, like that would be fucking dope too,
Yeah, and she's a decent promo and stuff. It's probably better she's not in the ring, but
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. She's just the devil promo, and then Adam and Roddy and whoever.
The devil wears Prada.
The devil wears promo,
and then maybe Adam and Roddy and them also. So it's like it ends up being Undisputed Kingdom. After all,
right, and it's Undisputed Kingdom versus like MJF and like Acclaimed and whatever.
Blood and guts.
Blood and guts.
Did they already do the War Games this year? AEW?
No, they just announced it. And by the way, they did.
Oh, really?
It was the first year. I didn't watch this with the sound on, at least, but apparently on SmackDown, it was the first year that they announced War Games without William Regal. and they had Adam Page take his glasses off and go bug eyes and say War Games.
Yeah.
Is it Adam Page? Adam Pierce. I don't know all these names. Fuck them.
Oh wait, they did War Games already this year. They did it in Boston.
No, it's going to be Survivor Series. The poster.
No, I'm talking about AEW War Games if they're going to go to something like that.
Oh, Blood and Goo.
Blood and Goo.
They took our jabs. The Blood and
Yo,
Goo.
speaking of South Park, by the way, that's the end of the show. You won. She only appeared once on the whole show.
What? Who?
That's.
I
mean,
Renee?
I also like zone out and don't really watch. I probably missed like three different appearances. But even if it was like 2 more at least.
Well, last week I
You
got
still would've
robbed.
won.
Last week I got robbed because I was teased by the over.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this week I got a moral victory. We got some money back with the under.
I'm the puppet master. I'm the real puppet master.
Right. You're the Renee Moxley good over under bookie and handicapper.
Yeah, she might have been on the show somewhere else. Like I said, I forgot that Sting and Darby
With
segment.
arms wide open.
But yeah, that's the show, and it sucked. And then Full Gear is not this weekend, next week, so we'll have a preview probably next week for it. Maybe we'll have a DraftKings betting stuff for that too, with the poll too.
That'd be nice. I need more gambling in my life because I've bottomed out and I'm ready to start over again.
Because you mentioned South Park. Remember you said the streaming wars was a thing?
Yes.
I can't find that streaming anywhere.
I think it's all on Paramount, or maybe they did some on Paramount, on some on HBO. Brian actually recently
HBO, Hulu, everything that has like all 25. Because apparently I looked it up. Like after it's the episodes that are it's season 24 or 25 after the Irish episode when Integrity and Stan and all them.
All I've watched on South Park for the last like 2 years, 3 years was the streaming wars and the pandemic and post-pandemic specials. But apparently that's all its own like universe.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I just can't find these episodes. So if anyone knows where to get these random episodes that are not on the streaming platform.
So you can't find it on Paramount Plus?
I don't have Paramount Plus.
Right.
But it's also not on all my like hot box and cheat boxes either.
No, because I think that's interesting. But I was gonna say, if you like, they're not episodes, they're like made for stream movies. So I think for a while South Park was being broadcast, like the episodes were being broadcast on like Max, but those specific streaming wars, like made for TV movies, were on Paramount Plus. So I think the collection.
Brian just said HBO Max. All seasons are on HBO. Yeah, they're all on there, but these.
Yeah, but what about the streaming wars?
Yeah, they're not on there. It ends at the Irish Integrity episode.
Paramount only has
a special.
Right. So
but
that's
why
what
isn't
I'm
it
saying.
on my cheat box, which is fucking weird? Like, why is the elusive South Park episodes I can't
With
find?
arms wide open, they took her down.
Integrity.
Integrity. So I think we covered it all.
I think that does it for the this week. Oh yeah,
Yo,
brother.
look at us. We hit our time.
Yeah, we started late.
Started late, hit our time. I think it was a good episode. You know, I
gotta put it now that anyone that's hanging out, I gotta put that Domino's.
Yo, drop it. You know, Joe, you were gonna give it to me. You were gonna give me the code. Drop the code in the chat. No, I don't want it. Give it to the people.
If this doesn't work, I have another one.
Drop both. Drop both, Joe.
If you use that, you can get a free medium pie from Domino's, if they're still open right now.
Let's go. Drop it in the chat. I can't see it. Free Domino's, brother.
Domino's.
Yo, thank you for saying so, Bren. He says, great episode. I really appreciate you guys. Yo, we're building slowly but surely. You know, I haven't been great with the scheduling. I started us 10 minutes late. You know what it is? I'm so exasperated and exhausted by trying to control Brian's emotions on Tuesday that by the time Thursday comes, I'm still not completely recovered.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cover a little more wrestling to keep the show afloat.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch some more wrestling, aren't I?
If you even if you don't even pay attention to the show, us both not paying attention, only having half attention
Not
on
good.
one show, it's like we both watched one show intently, and that's good enough for this.
All right, so I just have to watch half of a show.
No, not like 8 to 9. You just have to have it on like another monitor.
Yeah, I have it on
another
like
room.
5% watch the whole thing.
Yeah. And then I'll watch like 95% and then make sure I don't.
All right, we
miss.
can do this. And you know what? For next week specifically, as a gift to you, I'm going to watch and take notes on AEW. And by the way, unlike today when you had to watch me live update the notes, I will start my own notepad so you don't have to be polluted with my own thoughts and updates.
Spam.
And-
It's like
and-
spam, bro.
It was like spam. And if there's one thing that you all need to know about what we learned this week, is that the Kirks suck.
Oh well.
Matt Tremont, awesome. Final words, Joe?
Final words is EMGSL-XTN.
Come on, drop it in the chat.
I did. Why can't you see?
I can't see it. Is it being held because you're a spammer?
Oh, is it?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, maybe because I'm spamming.
No, I'm not seeing any spam. Yo, I want to make a remix of the Drew McIntyre song and like some Creed lyrics.
Yeah. Something like that.
Hell yeah. We could do it. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. All right.
Gung.
Gang. Yo, if you want free Dominoes, keep watching the show because Joe.
Yeah,
Well-
watch every week for free Dominoes. Code in chat.
Yeah, code in chat. Until next time, I'm PK with the Boulevard Bullies representing Jedi Joe. Goddamn credit, dead it. You think a crackhead's paying you back? Shit, forget it. Till next time, bye. Boulevard Bullies. See you later, bitch.
Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard.